Good afternoon. I am John Middleton Simmons, Jr. I'm not a native of Bainbridge, but this is home. Bainbridge is where I began my business and raised my family. I was born on May the 19th, 1871 in Perry, Georgia. You may know of it. I think they have a state fair there every year. Well, but I digress. Let me get on. I moved to Bainbridge. I married the beautiful Virginia Augusta Ramsey from Dublin on June the 20th, 1900. In 1905, I established the Alberta Box Company. It's still in business today, right over the river, over the Calhoun Street Bridge. You may know of it. You may be wondering why I named my business Alberta Box Company. Well, it's simple. It all began with a man named Samuel Rump, R-U-M-P-H, who in the late 1800s developed a new variety of peach. Mr. Hump was a horticulturalist, peaches. But the peach that he developed was beautiful. It was large, beautifully colored, delicious, and hardy enough to ship long distances. At the same time that he developed this peach, the railroads developed refrigerated cars. So those two things developed the peach industry in Georgia. At the turn of the century, 1900, there were 8 million peach trees in Georgia. 3,000 refrigerated cars left Georgia every year loaded with peaches going all the way to New York. At the time, I was running the Simmons Manufacturing Company, which was a commercial veneer company in my wife's hometown of Dublin. All of my family, many of whom were raising peaches, wanted us to come back to Houston County. So I did. There, I became convinced that the demand for crates would support another mill. It was there in Marshallville in 1905 that I established the Alberta Box Company. Named after that little piece of fruit. Mr. Rump named the company the peach for his wife, who was Carrie Alberta Moore. So this is a lovely lady's lovely peach. Around 1915, the demand for tomato crates developed in Florida. Between the two of those, it was then I decided it would be advantageous to move my company to southwest Georgia to Bainbridge, and I am so glad we did. It was perfect. We had timber enough to support the mill for many, many years. We had the river to get the timber to the mill. Cheap transportation. The railroads allowed me to continue shipping throughout Georgia and Florida on time. It was an ideal situation. During World War II, the demand for crates increased rapidly, and by 1922, the total demand was so high that another mill I built in Tallahassee, Florida. In 1928, I acquired the Southern Crate and Box Company in Macon, so I had 4 mills. That time I changed the name of my company to the Alberta Crate and Box Company. The company continued to grow and prosper through internal growth, increased production, and in 1947, disaster struck. The Bainbridge plant burned to the ground, totally destroyed. But we picked ourselves up by our bootstraps. The family decided to sell some of the timberland we had and rebuild on the same site a modern, efficient crate plant, which we did. And in 1948, it was complete. I died in 1951. But my company, still in the family today, continues to grow. Most of the company's business is connected with the vegetable production rather than fruit. A large portion of our business comes regionally very close, such as sweet corn, cabbage, pepper, beans, squash. Today, Alberta Crate is one of the largest wire-bound box companies in the world. Now, excuse the up-to-date water bottle. Anyway, we got a lady sitting on the front row right here that probably is as responsible as anybody for these tours. So she went to Apalachicola and saw one and came back and started haranguing everyone. Alberta Crate was not my only love, though. As I said, I married my beautiful wife in 1900. We had 4 boys. John Whiteford, who ran the Tallahassee mill. David Ramsey, buried right over here, ran the Bainbridge mill. Thomas Randolph ran the Tennell mill. And William Pinckney ran the Macon mill. I always loved the land. I was well known for encouraging Georgians to be considerate of their natural resources, but I also loved my community. I was very involved with both local and state government. I was mayor of Bainbridge from 1930 to 1934. I served in the House of Representatives in 1929, 1931, 1933, 1937, 1939, 1941. I was state senator to the 8th District in 1935. I was a Mason, a Shriner, the president of the Bainbridge Rotary Club, and a member of the First United Methodist Church. Bainbridge may not be where I was born, but it's where I built my home, raised my family, and I can think of no better place to be than right here. Thank you for your time. Now I've got some peaches to enjoy.